What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'll be doing today is going to be a tuna stuffed avocado. I was inspired to do this recipe by another YouTube channel by the name of Stay at Home Chef. She doesn't know me at all, but I was looking for a tuna recipe, came across this, figured I'd give it a shot. Anyway, I'm going to leave a link to her channel in the iCard above and the description below. Run by her channel. Looks like she has a lot of good stuff out there. Anyway, I looked at her recipe, and like I said, I thought it was awesome. I am going to make a few changes, but I'm going to leave her original recipe in the description below. Anyway, the ingredients I'm going to be using, we have some albacore tuna. Now, she suggested using an olive oil packed tuna, and I didn't have that on hand, so I'm also going to be adding a little bit of olive oil to this as well. We have 2 large avocados. You want them to be ripe but not mushy, and you definitely don't want them hard. We're going to be using some red bell pepper, some jalapenos. A twist I'm going to make on this is I'm actually going to use some tomatoes as well. We're going to need some lime juice, cilantro, and another thing that I'm going to improvise on that she didn't have in her recipe was some mayonnaise. So now, pretty simple recipe. Let's get cutting this stuff up. Now really all we're going to be doing is dicing this stuff up. You can dice it as big or as small as you want. The knife that I'm using is that knife that I had in my giveaway a while back, that Kuma chef knife. And like I said, we're just going to kind of dice up these red bell peppers, our jalapenos, and our, well, I've already minced up our cilantro. So let's go ahead and throw this in our bowl. I probably, if I had some on hand, if I wasn't going to use them for another recipe, I would probably throw a little bit of red onion in here as well. We should be fine with this. Jalapenos, like I have 3 jalapenos for this. I keep my seeds in my jalapenos. To me, taking seeds out of a jalapeno is like driving a car without the wheels, so I always leave the seeds in whenever I'm using jalapenos. Alright, so here's our 3rd jalapeno. And if you're not used to working with jalapenos or any spicy pepper, wear some gloves. I'm pretty used to it, doesn't bother me anymore. Let's get this tomato done. Like I said, the tomato was an optional ingredient. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but we did go ahead and de-seed these tomatoes so there's none of that pulp that's left in it. Don't want it to be too wet. Alright, now that we have that, what you're going to want to do is go right down the middle of this avocado. So take your time, just kind of rotate the knife around, twist it, opens up, hit it with a knife, spin, it's off. You know what, I am going to go ahead and transfer this to a bigger bowl. This one looks like it might get to be a little tight. So let's just go ahead and get that in there. I'm going to go ahead and add our cilantro. We are going to save a little bit of cilantro for garnish at the end. As far as the avocado goes, we're going to go ahead and scoop this out. We're going to try to leave a little bit around the rim so when you're eating it you can get a little bit of that. Alright, so here's our last avocado. Let's go ahead and set that there. We're going to hit it with a little bit of olive oil, like I said, because the tuna that we're using doesn't have any olive oil, so we're going to go with about ½ a tablespoon on that. My optional ingredient, we're going to go with about 1.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And the last ingredient is just some lime juice, And I'm just going to use the juice of 1 lime. And now once we get all this in here, really all that's left to do is to go ahead and mix it up. That should be enough. So let's mix. Alright, so we have it kind of broke down. I don't want to add the tuna to it too early. Just want to see the consistency of it. Now we're going to go ahead and throw our tuna in. And I am using albacore tuna. Alright, why don't you guys come on in and take a look at what this looks like. So here's what we're looking like right now, all mixed up, and I was looking at it. It does look like it's missing something, at least for my family. So you always have to change up somebody's recipe. So you know what? We love red onions. I'm going to go ahead and throw them red onions in. I also haven't seasoned it yet. We're just going to go with the simple garlic pepper seasoning. There's some salt in that as well. So we're just going to hit that. And I'm imagining that's going to be about a half a tablespoon. We'll taste it. Dang, that's some strong garlic. All right, let's go ahead and taste it and see what we're looking like. You know what? That tastes good. Let's get stuff in them. So this is the easy part right here. All we have to do, fill up these avocados. Now my wife isn't a huge fan of tuna, so it's just going to be me and Mason. I'm going to let these chill out in the refrigerator probably for about, probably for about an hour. And when it's done chilling out, me and Mason are going to go ahead and knock this out and we'll be able to see what he thinks about them. But they do look awesome. This is the final product right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this camera back and let me and this big head boy do a taste test on this. So I'd like to thank Stay at Home Chef for giving me the idea and the inspiration to come up with this. I did change it up a little bit, so let's taste it and see what's up.
Okay. Ooh, that's really good. The onions are still nice and crisp. The avocado's nice and ripe. It's great.
She didn't have the onions in hers, so that was something I added to it. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to leave a link to her channel in this iCard above and the description below. And I'm going to leave her original recipe in the description as well. And I'm going to have my changes I made with asterisks under her recipe. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.
It's got a nice